Hey everybody, this is David Minns from G4 Guitar Schools, and in this video lesson today we're going to be taking a look at a capo. Okay, what is a capo and how to start using one. So for today's explanation we're going to be looking at a capo. This is the one I've chosen. It's a red one, so it makes it a little easier to see. Okay, this one itself has a little screw piece on the back which allows the teeth of the capo, so to speak, to move back and forward. Okay, some capos you can get will have like a grip where you pull the grip in and it opens little jaws of the capo. Okay, so what is a capo and why would I use one? So let's go back and step back a minute and take a look at the guitar and how the guitar works. So if we look at any guitar, okay, electric, acoustic, it doesn't matter. The strings, every string is suspended between 2 points. Okay, a point here, which is up on the bridge, and a point here called the nut, which is at the other end of the neck. Now, with our strings suspended between these 2 points, if we take string number 1, the E string, and pick it, we get the sound of E. Because if we tune to the right tension, okay, which we do by tuning, the distance between these 2 points gives me the note of E. Now we know that when we take our fingers to play scales or to play a chord, and for example we take our third finger here on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, we get a note of G. So what's happened? Okay, what's happened now is that our E string is suspended now temporarily between this point here on the bridge and my 3rd finger. So the pitch of this whole string has gone up. It's changed from an E to a G because the length of the string has changed, and that's how we change pitch on the guitar. But when we hold our fingers down, okay, it's temporary. Okay, and we take our fingers off, it returns to the original pitch of the open string. Okay, so why would we want to use a capo? So what a capo allows us to do, okay, and let's look at this guy here. We're going to open this one up, which I do by unscrewing this little knob at the back, and I'm going to place it across the guitar like this, okay, so that the flat part here goes all the way across all 6 strings. I'm going to hold it in place with my index finger or whatever finger on my right hand, and then I will do the screw up at the back to pinch the strings so that each string rings out. If we don't do this up tight enough, we get some strange noises. So you want to, if you're using a screw type of capo, we tighten it up just enough so each string can ring out. Okay, so now what we've done is we have, if you will, on a semi-permanent basis, we've suspended the strings between this point and this point. So the string is now shorter, and so therefore the note will be higher. What that then allows me to do is, and I'm going to use a G chord shape for the example, is I can take a G chord shape here, okay, and I would play it on the 5th fret, okay, because this guy now here makes this, in theory, artificially makes this the 3rd fret, so to speak. Okay, so there's my G chord shape. Now I say G chord shape for a reason, because this is the shape of a G chord, which we know, but the notes we're actually playing are not spelling out the chord of G. They're spelling out something different because the notes are in a different place. So we know we've got our fingers here on the 5th fret, the 4th fret, etc. So they're different notes. The notes underneath this chord shape spell out an A chord. Okay, so there's my A chord using the G chord shape with my capo on fret number 2. Okay. Now there's a rationale as to how we place this, and we can talk about that in our lessons. But for right now, just to get a basic understanding of what the capo is doing, it's suspending the strings over a shorter distance here. That when we use a G chord shape, okay, I get the note of A, sorry, the chord of A, but it's going to sound very different between this A chord here versus the traditional A chord. If I take my capo off and I play down here, there's an A chord down there, which we may know. So if you listen to this chord sound here, there's A. If I put my capo back on the 2nd fret and do it up, and I strum my G chord shape, you can probably hear that this is the same pitch as the previous one, but this is a chord of A now, okay? But it sounds very different because we have lots of open strings ringing in it. We also have a string we're playing way up here on the 5th fret, which we didn't have before. So the sound of the A chord then changes. So why would I want to do that? A couple of reasons. Even if you're a solo guitar player, you may feel more comfortable, say, using a G chord, okay, to play the A chord, or the sound you're going for, you want more of an open, strummy sort of sound. Because one of the beauties of the guitar is when we have open strings ringing, because they just continue to ring, even as we change chord shapes, any open strings that we're playing will continue to ring. Okay, so that's one reason. The other reason is, let's say that we're playing with another guitar player, and the other guitar player knows an A chord, and he's playing this. Okay, if you're the second guitar player and you're just playing the same chord, it's a little redundant, and it's not going to add much to the piece you're playing. But by using a capo, we'll put it here on the second fret again. I can play an A chord here, and although it's the same pitch, it'll go exactly with the previous A chord. It gives you some different tones and different sounds that will complement the other A chord really, really well. Okay. So this is a short introduction to a capo of how it works. We'll talk more on our lessons. If you have questions, please ask, and I hope you found this useful. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.